Well,
All right,
uh,
we're back. Well, shockingly, we are.
I hope you guys had a good New Year break. Yeah,
All
this is
right,
our first episode of the year. Big
yeah.
surprise. Well,
And that's all the boring stuff out the way.
so,
Well, welcome everyone back. Damn, I already screwed up. Damn it. I am not in the mood to talk today. Okay,
congratulations, zombie. Well done.
welcome everyone back to Cubecast. We are your hosts, Undead Zombie,
And Soul Shadows.
and we're actually going to be talking about not just stuff that's happened on Cubecraft, but a lot of stuff that's happening for us. We're going to get quite serious with this now
There's going to be a
because
lot of changes this year.
a
That's
lot of
going to happen.
changes.
Some you will instantly see is in this episode. You will definitely notice a difference. Is we're going family friendly. Now,
Right.
some of you may laugh at this, knowing me as an
Yeah.
individual, but
S-
to be able to do certain things we want, we are going to have to do a massive overhaul. I've spoken with Zombie. Well,
Yeah.
we spoke before making this episode, and we have
We've
agreed
we've we've got
on
a lot
a
of
lot of
like hidden
changes.
content plans. Yeah.
We have a lot of things planned for this year, and honestly, it's probably
You'll have to wait.
the most maddest thing any like cube thing, any like cube Discord business. I don't know what I call it as a business, but like we're gonna be the biggest cube news outlet of the year again. We're gonna
Because
anyway.
we're the only people that are pumping out
Active
this, you know,
content.
this stuff. Yeah, basically active content. But it's not just about pumping out content, it's about like we're going through a little bit of like a reformation, if you know what I mean. Like we're changing a lot of things.
We are evolving, so to speak, becoming
So
new. With keeping the old. Obviously, we're going to keep the podcast. This is
yeah.
fun for me. This is the only time I get to speak for Zombie. I'm joking. I speak with him all the time. But this is basically this is. You're not just going to see a podcast from now on. We're gonna be changing our Discord server as well. Running like community events, Basically, we're just doing more community interactions as the year goes on.
Doing a lot of resuscitation, you know what I mean?
Basically, we want to try and bring a bit of the Cubecraft community back to life, as 2022 it did sort of tank a little
Hmm.
bit, which is
Yeah.
hopefully changing.
So yeah. We're not gonna. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take the reins a bit. We'll discuss podcast plans after what we've spoken about what's happening for CubeCraft now. So a lot of things have already happened, and yes, as you all know, we've heard about the partner program. We're gonna get onto that later. We'll get onto that later.
Yes.
Let's talk about the CPS limit that they've finally brought out. So, as you all know, back then, drag and double clicking was strictly prohibited on the CubeCraft network. No, and if you was caught doing it, it was a ban. That was it. You were banned. And the chances of your appeal getting accepted was like a 50-50 chance. All of a sudden, CubeCraft have now made the decision to allow double and drag clicking. But by the looks of it, it's completely pointless because they've added in something called a CPS cap. So let's say let's say you're double clicking, let's say 18 CPS. The cap limit would stop that 18 CPS either going higher, staying, or going,
Well, this
yeah,
depends what the
basically either
CPS
going
cap
higher.
is. They have said they're not going to reveal the CPS cap, which I do think is a smart idea, because
Because
anyone what they could do is
auto click,
set their autoclicker to just below the CPS cap, which could
and
possibly
that's
make it
it.
less detectable,
And
which
they
is something
wouldn't
they
be
don't
able
want.
to. It's kind of difficult for them to get banned. There
Mm.
are rumors spreading about that what it could be, but we are not going to
We're not
talk
gonna
about what it could
basically
be.
talk about
We're not
rumors
talking about
because
that
we don't want to give you guys the wrong information.
because we've received a bit of a knock on the head for
We always try
supposedly
our best here at Cubecast to
once again
not spread misinformation.
false information. You again,
Anytime
that's
we,
one of our
anytime
biggest
we, it's
priorities
one of our biggest things with this. If I ever say anything that is wrong, misleading, misjudgeful, just downright incorrect, let's say we talk about a
the
topic,
tickets are there. The tickets are
let's say I
there.
talk about a topic and I get it completely wrong. Any cube staff or even anyone who actually knows more about it has done research more than we have. can always reach out to me in DMs and Discord tickets as Zombie has said in our Discord server, or start a conversation with me on the Cubecast account. I'm always checking it all the time. But you might be able to get me, or you might get Zombie. We don't know what day. Depends who's checking here on which day. And just
Mm.
let us know and be like, hey, you've said this, but this is the actual thing, and we will clarify it in the next episode, as we've done a few times. Because we've received a few reports in the past that we have cleared ourselves up. But personally, I feel like re-allowing double and drag has been a huge thing for the Bedrock community, because there was a lot of content creators who are like smaller Bedrock content creators, not the ones who had like the YouTube rank, quit because they were getting banned, false bans, and they just didn't find the server fun because their main form of clicking was banned, and they didn't. And most PC players didn't like having to always change the amount of time and stuff. But now they added it back. Since they've added it back, I've seen so many players coming back, and it's like, oh, let's go. A lot of the old people
Like,
used to grind with
I've
me.
I've spotted a few permaban users come back all of a
Yes,
sudden.
they also, I believe they did like a massive unban wave, or they did something, because a lot of people who got banned for it got unbanned, and it was so nice to see all, like, a bunch of old friends come back. Like, all, because obviously I used to
Yeah.
grind Eggles Mega, all the Eggles Mega grinders have all come back very slowly, and it's wonderful to see.
Hmm.
This is like updating the first things Cube did of the year, and it's a W update. Cube's been a massive W so far this year, but yeah, that's not
But
all
yeah.
that's happened this year so far. I think
But yeah.
we're only in the second week of January, and a lot of things have happened so far.
Hmm. But yeah, like the whole community was kind of shocked in this whole double clicking and drag clicking thing. As many of you did know before, or some of you may have known, there has been a lot of controversy between the double clicking and drag clicking role. A lot of PC players, obviously one particular YouTube, obviously related to noobs. He was the one that mainly wanted
He was
double
one of the main
clicking
like
allowed.
advocates for getting this brought back.
But yeah, drag clicking was not what I expected though. I was fine with double clicking in the CPS limit because it's good because now we can just do whatever we can freely do what we want with the mouses now. I feel like we've got more freedom with our mouses now, which is what I like from seeing from Cubecraft. Drag clicking is a different story for me because it's completely different. But I'm assuming drag clicking doesn't even matter because if this CPS limit is stopping any form of clicks, any over clicks, if you know what I mean, going over, then drag clicking is useless.
Drag
It's
clicking is
really
the
only
only
just there.
reason drag clicking is semi-useful is for block placement. I would
That
say,
is probably the only thing.
along with double clicking, it's only really good for block placement. I've noticed more clicks are actually getting registered now than before they added like a CPS cap, which I really love because before when I'd butterfly click, not many blocks were placed, but now when I'm butterfly clicking, all of a sudden more blocks are being placed, and I'm like, oh, let's go! I'm actually good. It's like, oh, let's
So
go! I can actually
again,
block
like I
like
said,
someone.
it's like you've got more freedom now, and
Yes,
that's
and
what I
it's
love.
like, oh, when I saw this up, I was like, oh, let's go Cube. W
It just
update for
feels it
Cube.
just it just feels like you can just do this more.
You can
You've got
Zombie with the
so much. You've
excellent
just got so much
ASMR
more freedom.
of butterfly clicking.
You've got so much more freedom now, and you've got that. You've no longer got that fear of like getting banned.
If
You've
you're a
also no
PC
longer
player,
got to go on your mouse's website and change the deep bounce time. I have to stay the same, but you know,
you don't have to change your mouse settings anymore. Which means a lot of content creators have already started coming back and making content again, especially in the Bedrock community. We had like near the end of the year, I feel there was a massive problem with Cube content on Bedrock. A lot of the YouTubers were just had nothing to do, and the ones that wanted to make content were afraid to make content because obviously of their clicking method looking like drag or double clicks. And I am aware of multiple people who got false banned for it, which obviously
mm,
is bound to happen with rules as strict as that. But obviously, it's good that they've now like reformed. Is the word for is reformed a word for this situation? I don't know. But they reverted that old rule. To be fair, what I would have done
mm,
differently is I would have made like an actual announcement about it, like a forum post saying, "Hey, we've changed the rule." Because I know they responded to related suggestion, but I believe actually. Oh, I don't have it here, but the Sentinel announcement still says avoid drag clicking.
Yeah, I
I
don't
would.
think they've
That's the
updated
one
it
thing.
yet.
The one thing I would do is I would edit that message to remove that bit because it's a bit misleading since you can now drag click, and I've seen a couple of people get confused about it. But
Well, they
that's
could edit it and put like a different rule in there instead of just having it
say
as double
they
dragging.
say drag clicking is allowed, but mention a CPS cap, but don't obviously say how much is in it because obviously you're not they
No,
don't want
we
to.
don't want auto clickers. The last thing we want on this network is auto clickers. That's
Yes,
the last thing we want. Yeah, so that's the CPS cap limit. But basically, our opinions are double clicking is a win-win situation for us.
we get good
People,
content, we get more players back, and just all around general, it's good.
from what I've noticed though, a lot of the console and mobile players are against this. Like,
I
once again, you've got in-game based matchmaking. I don't know how effective it is, but you're better off selecting that, so
the
then you
one
don't get in with sweats like
the
that,
one
if you know what I
issue
mean.
is input matchmaking. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And Cube have always said this. It won't always work because they would rather prioritize, games filling up than being on the same input because it's cheaper for them. Because instead of having like 500 servers run with like
Hmm.
2 people in each, they could run less servers and have everyone in together. Obviously, there is also challenge queue. A lot of people have that on and then complain about, oh, I'm getting PC players but I've got challenge queue on, even though challenge queue does, I believe it bypasses input delay and just puts you in PC lobbies. I can't remember how it works. It's been so long now. If any
I
staff
think
could remind me how it is.
Challenge Queue puts you into games that are with
Like keyboard and mouse games, but I can't fully
they
remember how
put
it
no.
works.
It puts I forgot it. I think it's actually the opposite. I think it puts you into games based on your input device. So depending on what your input device is, let's say an Xbox, it puts you into Xbox games. But the reason it says harder is because everyone's skill based. Everyone's gonna have the same skill base as you, but not everyone uses challenge queue, so it's not really effective. But to be honest, again, nons are still playing on there, I guess. So I
Yeah,
wouldn't say it's a big issue. There's really no issue with the CPS limit or cap or whatever.
honestly, I don't feel like
There's
there
no
is a big.
problems.
It's a good thing that they've re-allowed it because it's meant a lot of
It's
people come
just
back.
there's like two different parts of the community that are like, bruh, what are we supposed to do now?
To
Well,
be fair, the majority of the community have widely accepted this and are happy it's allowed again.
just get a mouse and keyboard. That's it.
Literally, you can
Just
get
get a
one
mouse and
from like
keyboard.
Poundland for like £5, a wireless
And
one.
I'm pretty sure their mouses can drag. Sorry, not drag, double
They
or something.
can.
Yeah,
Most can double click nowadays. So like,
the
well,
two
no,
crappy
if you
mice I
if
have
you
in my cabinet, they don't.
well, my
They can only
broken
do like
mouse
7
did.
CPS.
My broken mouse double clicked, and my current mouse doesn't because it can't. But maybe in the future I'll switch to a mouse that can, so I can maybe compete. But anyways, do you think we've talked about this enough? We should move on to our next topic, or do you have anything
Right.
else left to say?
Okay. Nah, there's nothing else to say.
All right, we'll
But
move on to our next. So recent, this has actually happened. What day is it today? It is. So this happened. Yes, was it yesterday?
yesterday at 4:46 p.m.
They released what I think is probably the best update they've released in a while.
The
Apologies,
eco ranks are back.
you have no idea how happy I am that Eco came back. Like, I can't even speak, bro. It's wonderful it came back.
So I'll read this on behalf of Story. So yesterday at 4:46 p.m., it is now clarified that he was very happy, and this is quote unquote from Story. Hey Cube Crafters, I'm very happy to announce the new partner revamp EU today, featuring changes that will hope broaden not only our relationships with creators, but with you, the community. To have a read below, still quote unquote some Story. We've had a strong review at our internal processes for various systems, and one that stuck out to us was our attitude toward creators and strong community figures. Going forward, our goal will be to support up and coming creators as well as supporting community figures who are not creators as well. Whether this be other servers, client developers, or other community leads, we will assist you in creating and flourishing alongside us together, and we want to help you do that, no matter how far along the journey you are. Well, how long in your journey you are. one of the key things here is no requirements. There are no requirements.
This is what I think is a good move by them. By having no requirements, this means that like anyone, instead of being like, oh, obviously there will always be positive and negatives. The negative will only be you'll get your YouTube ranks complain, but and people like, oh, the people who work for it, they just hate on it, but just slide them under the carpet. The plus side is now it appeals to so many more people because no one's like, oh, these requirements are too high. I'm never going to get there. They could be like, oh, there's no requirements. I'm gonna, I'll still apply, and I'll see what I can do, and just work on themselves. I've already seen a lot of content creators who are nowhere near the requirements who are now getting it. Like Privated got it yesterday. He's been deserved of YouTube rank for about the past year, but obviously he wasn't the requirement, so we couldn't get it. Now he's got it. It's a big W for the Cube Bedrock community, getting more like active like creators into the partner program is just a massive W. And also the return of Eco. So if you weren't aware, Eco stands for External Community Organizers, which back in 2020 it was around from 2020 to 2021. Did it close in 21 or was it closed in 22 actually? It closed in wait, let me double check when this closed. I believe it closed in 2022. Let me just double check this. I don't want to spread any misinfo from when it closed.
I'm pretty sure it did close in 2022 by, was it Animal Tamer, wasn't it?
Let me just get this exact message. I have it somewhere. Yes, it closed in 2022. So it was from 2020. It might have been before then. This is just all I know. It was what I know of was from 2020 to 2022. They had a program where if you own like a Discord server, you could, I'd say partner, but it wasn't like a partnership. They didn't really get anything from you. They just helped you run like tournaments and events. So if you were Bedrock, you'd get like a YouTube ranked account, and you would be able to host like your own community games. If you're in Cubecast Discord, or you should know what community games are. They were basically what these communities were hosting, and Cube were like, okay, we'll help you with this. Things went back and forth, and this program eventually closed. I can't remember the reasons why, but this program has now been reformed, I think, and they brought it back with new updates to it. And I've seen these up, and I've been speaking with a couple of people, and I've seen what's happened, what some of the new changes are, and it's wonderful. Some of the things that I like spoke about while being in there, they've now implemented, and I'm like, this is a really good move by Cube. Because these Discords, what was like Cube's biggest like way into the community, and now they've brought it back. It's like Cube are interacting with their community more. Because obviously a lot of people were thinking near the end of last year when they closed Java down, they're like, oh, Cube are no longer listening to their community, blah blah blah, this and this. But Cube basically have turned around and said, no, we're still listening, we're still here, and it's really good to see what they've done with the partner program. Because now you get, I believe, if you apply for Eco, you get a partner prefix on your account, on your main account, which is different to the old one because you wouldn't be able to have it on your main account. You had to get like an alternate account just for your Discord server that you could only use for your Discord server. But now as a partner, I believe you can use it for whatever you want now. Obviously, you got to do your server things as well. But before, it's a lot just more open nowadays, which is really good to see them interacting with the community. Now, if they release if they release private games this month as well, this is gonna be the best month Cube has ever done in the past like history of man. Actually, scrap that. June 2020 was the best month, not because they added Line Dash or anything. I'm not trying to be biased here, but yeah, maybe the second best month of all time. But honestly, it was a massive. Seeing this update, it's also brought in a lot of creators already. I've seen partners, like a ton of partners come in. I'm like, oh, I want to watch this guy's content now. And these partners are also now wanting to make more Cube content, which thus introduces more partners, and it just goes up and up and up. But yeah, all in all, this has been a good update by Cube, and hopefully the 1.19 update's around the corner as well. So this month is actually, if 1.19 comes out this month as well, this is going to be a W month for Cube, honestly.
It does look like Cube
it's a good bounce back
it's coming
from
back.
it's a good bounce back from last year.
It's coming out of its recession.
CubeCraft last year was tanking it a little bit in terms of player count, but that was expected because
Yeah.
COVID, everything was opening up, so people stopped less playing. The community was shrinking a little
Yeah.
bit because they felt that CubeCraft wasn't listening to them. The staff team shrunk a little bit. Obviously, this is expected a lot, as I said, because COVID and everyone was getting back to their regular jobs, blah blah blah. No one had time for Minecraft anymore.
But at the moment, I feel like Cubecraft's going to
Cube
bounce
managed,
back a
Cube
lot from
bounced,
this now.
Cube held strong, which I really I'm like surprised and glad that they did. Seeing as all this stuff, obviously closing the Java server, they didn't want to do that. I have a strong feeling they did not want to close those games down. But obviously they'd have
There's too much memory.
they'd have to cut costs. But hopefully this year some of those gamers can come back. If they add them back, I know they would bring back a ton of the community as well. But just got to see what the 1.19 update brings. Is there anything else we need to talk about?
At the moment, yeah. So there is partner. I'm pretty sure there's YouTube.
Yeah, there's there's YouTube. I think there's probably TikTok and stuff.
Yeah, they've probably got Twitch. They've probably got a Twitch role on there.
They probably got.
I have actually seen. I have seen the Twitch role before because Jessica logged on for once, which is kind of nice.
Yeah, the prefixes look nice as well.
Yeah, the prefixes do look good. I wonder how good they're going to look whenever this whole new icon thing update they've got coming along.
I have a feeling what they'll do is they'll make new prefixes with it because they won't update old ones because obviously coloured fonts are going to be. I'm not sure how easy they are to do coloured fonts in those like fancy things, or if that was just for Java, but yeah. I have a feeling they're just going to make like whole brand new sets of prefixes for them.
Yeah.
But if they update old ones, it's going to look nice as well, but yeah.
I'd rather keep the old ones the same because, you know, there's a lot of memory into that.
Another thing actually that I've just spotted, they have added something to Notion today, and the Lunar New Year's event. As you all probably aware, New Year's, the Chinese New Year is around the corner.
Oh yeah, they did that last time, Lunar event.
Yeah, they're doing another one.
So I guess that's coming back.
That's coming soon.
This will
And
be
the
another
party
bundle.
event. Is there any new updates to the party event? No. Egg Wars event? No.
We're still waiting on that party event.
They've added a new preview to the Lucky Block event with new coloured Lucky Blocks for Java. They look kind of nice, to be fair. Very, very crisp quality. I'll send you the screenshot.
Crisp.
They do look crisp. Honestly,
Crisp.
I'll send you it, bro.
Let's have a look. I'll have a look at this for them. I'll just quickly add on what I can say. This is actually a really cool update. Salty's basically said everything I've already wanted to say. Oh wow.
Yeah, they look really
Actually, they look
nice.
more polished.
They look
more
so
polished.
polished. Whoever designed those, good on you. Thumbs up. You have the thumbs of approval from Salty.
Nah, they should keep the rainbow and the diamonds. That's it. Rainbow and diamond. I love the rainbow and the diamonds ones. They look really polished. I'm not too sure what they're meant to be different though. I don't know what on earth is all on about that double question mark thing. I don't know what that's all on about. There's some weird, spooky stuff going on there. Some cursed lucky block probably. But,
I reckon the first image was like a rough sketch idea of what they wanted to do.
I think it's a cursed lucky block. I think it's a cursed lucky block that gives you like weird items.
Yeah,
like
all in all, this is going to be
powerful.
really fun to see when it comes out. Same with that.
We're excited. We're definitely excited for this.
So the thing is, right, this is my opinion on Season 2. I reckon they should keep Redstone. Redstone has added... I have a video coming out soon.
Flying machines.
I have a video
flying machines, but that's about it.
I have a video coming out soon about why they should keep Redstone. I advise you watch it. I'm not going to reveal when I'm releasing it because I need to get around to editing it. But I explore some things using Redstone, and it's honestly, it does bring a new style of gameplay. Because obviously, people with Redstone build traps, they build flying machines, they build whatnot. Flying machines obviously being the funniest of all of them. Egg casters. I think they should stay, to be fair, as well.
They are quite useful.
Generator sludge, that can go. I've never seen anyone use it, but egg casters, I think they should stay actually, because they're really useful.
The mining fatigue curse is probably the best curse they've ever
It
got
is.
on
It
there.
is.
That
It's
is
the
gonna
only
help. That
way you
helps a
can
lot.
combat the efficiency 40. Not efficiency 40. Efficiency it's like 7 or 8. What it is for the 40 diamonds, and the like super breaker pickaxe for emeralds. It's the only way you can combat it against your egg defense. Otherwise, you might as well just break your egg defense before they even get there. But yeah, all in all, I feel this 1.19 update to all game modes is going to be really, really good. And it's going to be a W year for Cube.
There's a lot of excitement. We're just waiting. Again, Cubecraft is literally a waiting game, so we'll have to wait and see what happens. It's all built on that excitement.
Yep.
But yeah. Now, I bet some of you may have asked questions that, oh, have you two both applied? Or has Cubecast applied?
I'm not revealing
Right.
anything about what we've done so far. As Cubecast, I'm not
We're
revealing what I'm going to be planning on doing, but Zombie, have you applied for partner?
I have. Sorry, I've applied for content creator.
I have as well. I'm not going to be revealing my result, but yes.
What do you mean you're not going to be revealing your result?
It's kind of obvious what I got. To be fair, I'm fully understandable why I didn't get it, but yeah.
As far as I know, they haven't denied me yet. I've checked my emails basically every hour. Again,
Basically, if this
they're
is
going
sort
to
of
take
just
a
coming
while.
from me, this is also just a quick FAQs. If you're like, oh, has my application been looked at? Assume it hasn't up until 2 weeks. So up until after 2 weeks, just assume that you've been denied, and I'd give it a month after you've applied to like apply again. Because if you spam applications, whoever deals with partner applications will probably just turn around and tell you to stop because they'll just be seeing you just spamming applications.
And if
It,
you was to get like blacklisted from ever applying for partner, well then you should just then you're done.
then you could end up, as Zombie just said, you could end up screwing yourself by getting yourself blocked from applying because you
Not
applied
not
too
the
many times.
not the phrase I wanted to say, but
What do you mean?
isn't that technically not okay?
That's
That
that's
goes into
fine,
some.
bro. That's fine. I could have said a stronger word, but like I said, family friendly, family friendly.
Right. Should we talk about what? Okay. Should we kind of talk about what we've got planned?
Okay.
Right. Can I reveal the paragraph I've said in here
In where?
at the in the check the plans channel?
I.
Because I know I'm not supposed to reveal any of that, but what about the stuff I've got up here? We've got 30 minutes until
Yeah,
the server
you
starts.
can talk about these. Just not the
What
stuff
these
that
things?
I've. Yes. Go
Okay.
ahead.
So, um, again, we're not talking about what our plans are for partner, but the one thing what we are doing is we're changing a lot of things, if you know what I mean.
We're changing the
One,
podcast up by quite a bit. Like a lot of the
yeah.
stuff we'll cover, a lot of the stuff that we used to cover, we're not going to cover anymore. If you get what I mean.
So yeah, one thing that we always used to cover was about emotions, about
Like
staff or
demotions and
resigns.
resignations. We're not going to cover them anymore.
We're no longer covering that anymore because to be honest, we feel like we're bringing. To be honest, I feel like we're bringing a bit of a like a bad vibe about us talking about them. So we're not going to talk about them
Because what
anymore.
we could
Plus, we've
do
been
is if we
we've been told off by a mod before, like to be careful about talking about them. So
we've
we
just
ain't
decided,
talking
you know
about
what,
them.
it's not worth it because we could give the wrong information about like let's say someone resigns, but we say they get demoted, then that staff member could or the staff team could deal with issues regarding this, and they'll be like, oh, Salty Zombie said they got demoted. Why was this? But it turns out they resigned for other reasons, or vice versa.
And
They
yeah,
got
that could
demoted, and
cause
we say they resigned, but when it's not fully 100%
that
true.
that could cause a lot. That could cause drama. So for
We
now,
basically just don't
sorry,
want.
not for now.
We want to make it. We just want to make it life easier for everyone, to be honest.
Yeah,
And it's
so
also
we're
most of
we
the time when
are
like a
we're
resignation slash demotion, it's a personal thing to that person, and we don't really want to bring attention to them anymore. So we're
yeah,
not going to
so
be talking
we're
about. Remember,
yeah, when yeah.
I can't even speak.
Yeah, we're completely we're not doing that anymore because, as we said, a bit of a bad vibe. Now, as many of you do know, well, nearly accidentally, or should I say accidentally or nearly purposely, we swore in our podcast
We used to
episodes.
swear in our podcasts, but not anymore. We have reformed.
This might be a clue as into what we could be doing with the whole part of the thing, but yeah, we're gonna literally keep swearing. We'll stop swearing. We're not gonna do it anymore. We're
We're
gonna
becoming
entirely
family
abolish it.
friendly. Your number one
Look at
family
that.
friendly. We're going to be called intro even longer by adding family friendly to the title.
Yeah, it's actually because that's not clickbait.
That's not
We're
clickbait.
also gonna mainly we're also gonna mainly talk about the positives now. I feel like us talking about the negatives can spread more controversy. So
And let's say with like an update, they put all this time and effort into it. They don't really want to get people hating on them for it because stuff like me and Zombie say. Let's say they drop the 1.19 update and me and Zombie like pick it apart to absolute pieces and just talk about all the negative things in a higher light than the positive things. This could then lead to a negative view on the whole update in general when they've spent months on this update trying to make it as good as they can. So basically, we're just going to keep our opinion. We're also still going to give our opinions on things, but we're going to keep our opinions in a positive way.
yeah,
And any feedback we
so
have, we'll do it professionally. We'll go to them directly instead of telling you guys what our opinions are. So
because
obviously,
let's be
at the end
honest,
of the day, you have your own right to think about what you think about a certain topic, about a certain update.
the best way to sum it is I don't remember you guys ever asking for our opinions. That's
Yeah,
probably the better way.
honestly, I don't think they ever
You
asked.
guys never asked, so
So we're just not gonna give up
yeah,
our
we're not
opinions
gonna
on
do
things.
it. One key thing we are doing is that we're gonna be restructuring our research and the staff teams. So um yeah, so
You want
what
to
we're
talk
going to
about
be doing
this?
is hopefully getting in active research members and hopefully some like helpers and moderators, more active ones.
So, if you were aware, we currently at the moment we have a research team which help me and Zombie in researching topics for the Cube for podcasts, so we can obviously talk with them as much like information as we can to get it like on the dot the best we can. The team, I will admit, I'll put my hands up and say it wasn't. I didn't structure it the best when I launched the team. So
We sort of rushed it. We rushed
I
it because we
I
needed
rushed
what we
it because
needed to do.
we needed
Because
it.
we was in a competition really. Because without when we rushed it, we was in that competition era where we had. I
We
wouldn't
had
say
a
we had Corny
lot
as a
of
bit of a
competition,
competition.
and we
We
needed
had Cornier and we had the Keycraft Herald to deal
we
with
had
because we didn't know when the Keycraft Herald was
Cubecast.
going to make their next move.
So we had to
Up until now,
obviously I'm a competitive man. I love competition, but at the same time I hate competition because it drains me out entirely. But I rushed a few things back then, like the research team, and then I completely like disregarded it, and so we're changing how it is.
so yeah, that's our one of our new plans. We're also going to be updating our Discord server a little bit, as in, like, I don't know, moving a few channels about. We've now added like our custom like we've added in some icons for
We
our
have updated
emoji.
the Discord server, and we're going to be updating it even more. Also,
Yeah,
what I'm going to be doing is the Cubecast Discord is also going to become like a community hub as well. We're running events over there as well. That's something I want to start doing. Is I basically want to interact with our listeners and just with the general Cube community even more, and get your opinions on things that we talk about, like with our episodes. Did we do something well? Or like, what would you like to see change in the podcast? There's one thing obviously me and Zombie can always have our opinions about the podcast, but at the end of the day, it's not us that. Well, obviously we listen to it, but it's not our like. It's the people who choose to listen to our podcast. Their opinion matters the most because if we start to change and it affects us negatively in terms of growth, we will then have to revert that instead of possibly changing something else. Instead of going back to how we used to be. We don't. In reality, we only want to go forward. We don't want to go back at all. So all the things we say we're going to change are permanent changes. The only time we'll ever revert something is if it's like drastic and we have to go back to an old way. But apart from that, we're only going to be going forward.
hmm.
I think that's sort of it. Talk about the reform Discord community plans and
Yeah.
stuff, updating everything. But that's sort of it.
So yeah. It's just a lot of reforming. So, just want to quickly summarize once again. We will not be talking about any staff demotions or resigns. We're going to completely be family friendly now because obviously it's best we keep it that way. We're only going to be talking about most of the positives. Negatives, we're going to try and keep to ourselves as well. We're restructuring our research and staff teams and we're updating our Discord server to a little bit more.
Oh, and also, we're no longer
welcome
going to be, this is
vibe.
something that I haven't told you about, but also no longer going to be giving our opinions on specific staff members like we did in the past. I know in the past, when like a new helper would come in, we'd give our opinions on that helper.
We did receive we
We
basically got a
received
bit
a
of a
lot of feedback on that from multiple like people in Cubecraft, and we have
and a
listened to
staff
it.
member.
And I've now decided that we won't be doing this anymore. So say when a helper new gets in, we'll congratulate them and wish them luck, and
And
that is
that's
it.
it.
We won't talk
That is
about the
it.
helper. We won't talk about anything. We'll just say
Because
welcome. We'll basically
whatever
say welcome to the
cause,
team and send them on. Hope you luck in your trial and hope you pass.
and it's all up to that helper to do whatever they need to do. Because they shouldn't
We
be
don't want to have
listening to
added. We don't want
us.
to add pressure to these helpers. Be like, oh,
We don't want to like make the helper feel uncomfortable. Like, oh, these guys are talking about me. Maybe I shouldn't have done
these
this.
guys.
Like,
Yeah, these guys
that
are.
is probably our biggest fear now because we do not want that to happen.
We
Because
don't
we've
want the
realised what
helpers
we
to
did.
be uncomfortable, and we don't
So
want
yeah,
them. We don't want them to get like upset. Like, oh, I'm not doing good enough. Salt and Zombie are going to talk about me, and everyone's going to start hating on me. We don't want that.
no,
I've never
we
wanted
don't
that.
want you. We don't want to be portrayed as bad guys now. That's it. We're only going to say good luck. That's it. Because we received some heavy feedback, and what I mean by feedback, like some negative feedback on it as well. We did receive quite a few negative feedback on it, especially from a staff member. We're not going to reveal their name just in case, but
We could from quite a few staff members, to be fair, but
yeah, we have, and we've made sure to keep a bit of an eye out of what we do say. Make sure we haven't said anything that's going to hopefully ruin stuff. But we are changing a lot of things. And
yes.
by the looks of it, you could probably tell well what our plan is. You could probably tell, but it's pretty obvious what we are trying to do. But we'll leave you guys to probably guess what it could be. But that is basically it. But yeah, we don't want that kind of feedback. We don't want to be portrayed as a bad form of company. We
We're
don't want that.
basically we're just trying to be just two guys who share updates with you, and just all in all keep everyone updated what's going on Cube. That's the whole reason I started this in the first place. Was just to because obviously Cubecraft Times and like Cube News, these things have been around for a while. But I wanted to do is just make it the podcast version, and over the past like 4 or 5 months, that sort of slipped a little bit and just went from being a strict like news thing, telling you what, to just like an opinion podcast where we just, to be fair, we slated off Cube quite a bit. But I want to now take us off that track and go back to my original plan where it was, and but yeah, hopefully hopefully you enjoy the updates that we do. There's also a massive update I'm going to be doing around the 1 year of Cubecast, so around April, May time, I'm going to be announcing something new for Cubecast, so I heavily advise you keep an eye out. It's going to be a big undertake for me, it's going to be more work, but it's something I want to do to bring more people in, basically. But that's about it, I think.
Yeah, that's basically it. Just a bunch of reforms, and that's it. Yeah.
I think we should outro this here.
Yeah.
So, do you want to do the outro, or should I do the outro?
All right, guys, that will be it for us. Just yeah, take into consideration of what we have said before. So, but yeah. Anyway, guys, that will be it from us. We are your hosts, Zombie,
And I'm your host, Salty.
and we're the host of
We're your
Cubecast.
hosts. Remember, keep an eye out for when we will post more, and we will see you in 2 weeks.
All right.
Goodbye.
Yeah, I'm on my